Hello everyone, thanks for joining, really appreciate it. And as always, don't be afraid to support this little amateur homemade review channel with a like and subscribe. So it's coming to the end of the year, and like many people, I always kind of like to look back on all the films I've seen and highlight a few personal favourites. Now I've mentioned in a previous video that I am a massive film nerd. Well, this channel kind of tells you that, doesn't it? But my geekiness is such an extent that I record every single film I watch on an Excel spreadsheet and even rate every movie from 1 to 5. This makes it nice and easy though to see the movies that really stood out to me. So far this year, and there's still 10 days to go, I've watched 293 films, of which 28 have been 5-star movies. And then of these I've managed to cobble together what I think are my personal top 10. Now these aren't specifically films from 2024, but just films from all eras that I saw for the first time. So let's do this. In 10th place, The Zone of Interest. This harrowing Holocaust tale really struck a chord with me for its ability to convey such horror and threat without showing any of it on the screen. The sheer normality of the protagonists' lives as they conduct their day-to-day tasks and family events, all in the shadow of Auschwitz, was truly unnerving. The sound design was pitch perfect in highlighting the threat, while the acting was subtle but on the money. It's a truly remarkable film and an example of what's left unseen is sometimes worse than actually showing it. And in 9th place we have Bully. This Larry Clark movie has been on my list to watch for years and years actually, since I saw Kids. But I could either never find it, or when I did find it I don't think I was really ready to watch it. And then it landed on Prime and I took the opportunity. Now it's based on the real life 1993 tale of the murder of Bobby Kent, and it tells the story of a typical high school bully who kind of lacks any moral values or any kind of empathy actually, and his circle of friends who decide to kill him. Now this film isn't so much about the evil that teenagers do, but it's more about how a group of kids will do something that no single member is probably capable of. It's about the moral void these kids have. It's a real shocking film actually, and kind of left me feeling a little bit dirty, but it's acted really well, very intense, and doesn't really let up or pull any punches. And in eighth place we have The Substance. Well, this one was a real late entry actually, and after so much hype I gave and watched it. And to save you all the time, I have a full review video on the channel, so please head to that. But in short, it is a bonkers visual extravaganza, and if you haven't seen it, you really should. And in 7th place we have The Class. This 2008 French drama is based on the 2006 novel by Francois Bégodeau. And this novel is a semi-autobiographical account of his experiences as a French language and literature teacher in a middle school in Paris. Actually, the main character is actually played by the author himself. And what it does, it really highlights the struggles with kind of problem children. In short, it's a kind of a fly-on-the-wall look at how teaching and how cultures and attitudes often clash in the classroom. What I liked about it was it doesn't really judge, it doesn't resolve itself, it's not a Coach Carter type film where everybody learns, it's just a straight up slice of life drama done really well. In 6th place, Come and See. Now to say I enjoyed this film would be a lie. It's possibly the most harrowing thing I think I've ever seen actually. Now this film is a Russian movie from 1985 and it's clearly a brutal anti-war message. The film's plot focuses on the Nazi German occupation of Belarus and the events witnessed by a young teenager who joins the Belarusian partisans, and therefore depicts all the Nazi atrocities and human suffering inflicted upon the populace. Unlike Zone of Interest, the camera never looks away. The lead boy is truly remarkable in this role, and the constant close-ups of his face really conveys the horror he witnesses throughout this traumatic movie. I think everybody needs to see this movie at least once. It's not to be enjoyed, but I do think it needs to be witnessed. And in fifth place we have Threads. This low budget British TV movie, all the way back from 1984, has been called So in fifth place we have Threads. This low budget British TV movie from 1984 has been called a film which comes closest to representing the full horror of nuclear war and its aftermath, as well as the catastrophic impact that the event would have on the human culture. And that's about sums it up really. A bomb goes off, then over the course of the movie we see the full breakdown of humanity. It's another huge anti-war movie and really does highlight the danger the nuclear threat poses to everybody. Looking back, I appear to have gone for some real bleak choices here. And in fourth place, we have a little break from the horror of war and violence and all the gore with this delightful little movie. The film is set in 1970 and it tells the story of a strict classics teacher in New England boarding school, and he's forced to chaperone a handful of students who've got nowhere to go on the Christmas break. At its heart, it's about a relationship. It's a relationship movie really, with opposing characters and views who come together to end up supporting and really understand each other. It's a real low-key affair played wonderfully, and it's got real joy at its heart. It's an uplifting watch and a great Christmas movie. And in third place we have 1986's The Green Ray. There's a kind of an 80s theme here, isn't there? Now I must state for the record that I'm an absolute fanatic of the filmmaker Eric Romer's movies, and this year I think I've seen nearly all of them, so it's really difficult for me to pick just one. In fact, I might have to do a separate video on his work. But anyway, The Green Ray. At the start of the summer vacation, Delphine has just suffered the breakup of a relationship, and her travelling companion has ditched her so she can go with her new boyfriend to Greece instead. This leaves our main character without plans at a time when Paris is emptying for the summer. And the film really just follows Delphine trying to find herself really, in what really is just a very slight but deeply effective movie. It's about romance, it's about love, it's about not needing anybody else, it's about relationships or the need not for relationships. I think it's a film packed with real joy, and I really do recommend you watch it. And in second place, Quick Stop. Now this film is a low budget movie, and I'm talking low budget, and I think it's actually low budget filmmaking at its absolute pinnacle. Now the film itself starts out with a shoplifter and a teenager who sees him stealing. She threatens to turn him over to the cops, but actually all she wants to do is escape her life in the Chicago suburbs. He says he's going to LA to become a movie actor. Take me with you, she says. And ultimately the whole film is the relationship between these two. It's got drama, it's got romance, it's got surprises, it's got absolutely everything. It's great storytelling told really, really well. It's an absolute gem. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is, and I really recommend it. Quick Stop. And in first place, it's the 2008 film Cold War. Now this movie is set in Poland and France during the Cold War from the late 1940s all the way through to the 1960s. And the story follows a musical director who discovers a young singer, and it explores their love story over the years. It really is a case of can't live with you, can't live without you. It's beautiful, it's stunning, the music is incredible, and I really recommend you watch it. I also have a review of this film on my channel, and it was the first review I did, and ultimately one of the reasons I started my channel was just to talk about this movie. So, Cold War #1. Well, that's it from me. Thanks very much. Take care. Have a wonderful new year. I really appreciate you joining me, and please don't be afraid to like and subscribe and see if you can grow this channel. If you have any comments or any suggestions or any films you'd like me to review, or have got any reviews yourself, please get in contact, either comments or use the email address that's in the description. Thanks very much, and I'll see you on the next one.